Hey guys, have you seen Wind Charger? Wait a minute, why are you all lined up? Is this my intervention?
Pikachu, Pikachu. Squirtle, Squirtle, Squirtle.
Oh, I guess it's okay. Yeah, now you mentioned it, I remember getting a note from her, but I don't know. I guess I just didn't want to believe it or something. Oh, thanks. You got me a Pokeball?
Charmander.
I'm like, you got me a baby Charmander? Where'd you find this? I know it's late, but Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you.
You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah. After all is said and done,
Hey guys,
you never walk, you
the Geek again. Hope you guys had a good Christmas. I'm sorry we're late getting back. We kind of had a scheduling snag, and just it was the holidays. Things were hectic, so we were trying to get a Christmas special off the ground, but it just didn't work out. But anyway, we're not here for that. We are here for today's video, which was going to be the top 10 most underrated anime movies and shows. But I don't have that many, so it's going to be top 5. But I don't have that many, so it's going to be top 3. And I apologize for that. Okay, you know what? It's going to be top 4 at least. Let's say that. Top 4. Yay, top 4. Alright, yeah, and these are actually in order now. These are my personal, yeah, we have to get this out of the way. These are my personal views on these shows and films. It's just my personal opinions on them. You have different ones, that's fine. If you want to leave a comment about, like, if you disagree, or you had another show or movie you'd put on this list, go ahead and write it down in the comments, and I don't know, that'll be good feedback. Okay, moving right along. Sorry. Moving along, the first one is The Big O. This one is an acquired taste, especially the ending, which I'm not going to give away. You want to see it, you have to go. You want to know what happens, you have to go see it, or find somebody else online who's going to spoil it for you. It's about a guy who lives in a city where everybody forgot, like everybody's mind has been blanked 40 years prior to the current day. And he's basically a professional negotiator who like just does freelance jobs and sometimes jobs for the police, which are actually a military. There's really no difference between the military and the cops in this show. And I'm really not giving it any kind of justice by trying to explain it. But memories are highly involved, and this guy, of course, it wouldn't be a decent anime without a giant robot, so this guy has access to a giant robot, and it's kind of almost like a superhero thing. Like, by day, he's this regular negotiator, by night, he's piloting these monster robot, beating the crap out of other robots and monsters that show up once in a while. And in his first case, it involves an android. There's a lot of androids and robotic stuff going on in this show. And a lot of cerebral stuff, like things you should have remembered, things that are suppressed memories. I don't want to even try to explain it all. But this was the first season, and the second season was the Big O2, like Roman numeral 2 for second season. And that was where it ended. I think this was co-produced through the Cartoon Network. Because I remember watching it on TV when it was first out, and they had some kind of credits for Cartoon Network, and I don't remember seeing them on here, but I never really looked too hard. It's definitely worth a look. Very enjoyable, very, very deep. But it takes a while to get really going. Number 3 is actually a trilogy of series. What do they call them? The Transformers Japanese collection. We've got Headmasters, Super God Master Force, and I don't have the third volume. I don't hear Leo Victory something. I'll put it right here on there so you guys know what it is. I haven't been able to get through Super God yet, but I loved Headmasters. I can't speak Japanese, but I listen to that theme song and it's catchy. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but it's catchy. And it makes me really wish that we got these figures back, like in the current toy line. We're supposed to get one of them, but I have yet to find one. I know other people have found them because they love posting them on Facebook, but I have yet to see them, and I'm really excited to get them. Headmasters was a great concept. Basically, it was it's a gimmick to sell more toys. The characters were actually the head pieces, and they would transform into heads, and the vehicles they piloted would transform into the bodies. So you got little mini human-sized Transformers that transform and combine with their vehicles to be regular-sized Transformers. And the Autobots had them, the Decepticons had them, but it was pretty epic. And it takes place right after the 3rd season we got in America, where like we got just a 3-parter miniseries. They got 3 more seasons. So Rodimus Prime and his crew is in here for a little bit. It's a kind of passing the torch kind of series, and they don't get to it right away. And then Super God Master Force, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of, but it's pretty entertaining. This time around, it's a similar process to the Headmasters, where instead of them transforming into heads, they transform into these special kind of engines that unlock their transforming ability in the robot vehicles they drive. But this time, most of them are people. They're actually kids who have been recruited by Transformers who look like people. Okay, they were selling more toys. There was a toy line called the Pretenders line, where you had this giant human shell, and you could crack that open and there was a Transformer inside it. Now, logistically, for size-wise, this would not work. But they explain it in the show as well, like they just get bigger or something. I don't know. And the kids are actually wearing these suits to make them able to transform into the motor key pieces to transform their vehicles. It's kind of like Transformers Armada and the Minicons kind of thing. I really can't explain it too much. But there's a lot going on in both of these shows. And if you don't mind watching through subtitles, I would give it a look. So number 2 is actually an import. I don't know if this was ever even released in the States. But this is Video Girl I. Mom, if you're watching this, do not look for this one. You're not going to like it, trust me. And here's why. It's about a kid whose name I don't remember right now. And he falls in love with this girl. So he and his best friend are talking about it, and the best friend says, just go tell her. So he sits down with her, and he's about to tell her, and she's like, can I tell you a secret? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I like your best friend. Oh! So then she basically asks him for, like, moral support, which he blindly gives. Because he cares for her so much, he'd rather see her happy with someone else than miserable with him. So his plan is ruined, and he's obviously depressed. And he walks by this video store, which is an adult video store. And he rents a movie out of depression, I guess. Anyway, what he hasn't realized yet is that this video store is special in the regard that you can only enter it or see it if you have a pure or broken, if you had a pure heart that's recently been broken, I think. I'd have to look back into it to figure it out. And then when you rent the video and put it in, the girl will come out of the screen and comfort you in a way you need to be comforted. Not necessarily how you want to be comforted, but how you need to be comforted, whether it's sex or just comfort or whatever. Problem is, he's playing it on a broken VCR. So the girl that comes out becomes, for lack of a better term, defective. And genuinely starts caring about him. Which I guess these video girls are not supposed to do. Not entirely, anyway. And, it's 4 episodes long, and I'm not going to give away the ending. But what I am going to say about it is that if you want the whole story, don't get it all through this. This is a great anime, but if you want the entire story, you gotta check out the manga. The series I got was 13 volumes. I know they had 2 more, but I don't think they connected to this story. And if you get the manga form, it is much more. There's much more story to it. It tugs at your heartstrings. It really, really does. And I don't remember how the manga ends, but I know I was satisfied, if that makes sense. So, take a look at that. It is very, very entertaining. And number 1, anybody who knows me knows this one. Let's see if you can guess it. Right now, while you're watching this, put down in the comments below what you think number 1 is going to be. I'll give you 10 seconds. 1,000, wait, we'll count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Did you figure it out? Got any guess? Well, number 1 spot is Lupin the Third in the Castle of Cagliostro. When I talk to people about anime, I think maybe one time when Miyazaki came up, somebody knew what I was talking about when I brought up this movie. This was Miyazaki's first film, and nobody seems to or nobody wants to remember it. And it's definitely a departure from the regular Lupin stories you would hear. Lupin's more of a sleazy guy. He's a gentleman thief, but he definitely is not as worried about killing people. He's definitely looking for women a lot more, and he's definitely a lot more greedy. In this one, he genuinely comes off as a nice, smart, intelligent person. He's still a little sleazy, but not nearly as bad, and he feels like one of those characters who has all the answers. And you wouldn't know it by looking at him. Like, by the end of the movie, you might have gotten that feeling, almost. And I remember walking into a Suncoast motion picture video, Suncoast store, in the mall in Maplewood, maybe 5-7 years ago. That was back when it was still open, and asking the guy at the counter, I'm trying to get into Lupin the Third because I had just seen it on Adult Swim at the time. And there's like, can you recommend, what's the best Lupin movie? Can you recommend one for me? So he shows me this, and I look at it, and that's when I start to realize that animes are a little more expensive than American films. When I looked at the $30 price tag, for me that's a lot. I don't have a lot of money, you know. So I look at it, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? This better be the best damn anime I've ever seen, or I'm gonna be angry. I'm not gonna do anything, obviously, but I'm gonna be upset. So I go home and I watch it, and to this day, it has been the best anime I have ever seen. And that's my personal opinion. I know there are a lot of Miyazaki movies that people would say are much, much better, and I don't want to agree or disagree. I just want to say that this is my first real anime that I don't even know how to say this. It's on a level where you can't describe, you know? You always have that one show or movie that you are connected with on an emotional level. Maybe something in your life happened while you were watching it or something. Or maybe you were going through a rough time and that was the show that brought you up again. Or something like that. I can easily say that this had a part in me liking this movie. But I'm not getting into that. So, that is the top 4... 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the top 4 underrated animes. And if you agree or disagree, let me know. If you like this video, let me know. If you want to see more of these videos, let me know. If you have any requests or suggestions, let us know in the comments. Or you can email us at our email, put that over there. Or you can hit us on Twitter. Right there. And, well, you're going to try to explain to me how Twitter works. I'm still learning. But I've got a new friend to show the ropes. And we will see you next time. So, till next time, this is the Geek saying, good journey. No burning. Okay, Charmander? Charmander. Goodbye. Wait, are you a boy?